Good morning, friends. Now, today we are with new dimensions, and we will be discussing on something more invisible substances which constitutes the basis for homeopathy. Let us start with our slide presentations, and the topic is Similimum with Impondrabilia in homeopathy. Friends, you all might have heard about the imponderability, that you can dream, that you can understand. This becomes more important for us. But what is the utility and how they have the healing power and how they are affecting our life? We have to be purposeful. We have to know so that we can have a better utilizations for our life. Friends, Similimum constitutes the basic phenomena for homeopathy. And in homeopathy, we always think about matching of the medicine's null substance with the human life, the diseased life. And removing of the disease depends on the similimum aspects also. So, because we are surrounded with so many visible and invisible substances, and everything have got their information, have got in basic understanding on our life. But but how far they are good and how far they are bad, it is unimaginable. And only through the symptoms we can understand if they have the influence. But what is the positive factors? It becomes a more important understanding for all of us. Friends, what you see, if you don't have the spirituality basis for your life, for your understanding, and for understanding the medicines, you cannot understand the homeopathy. Because homeopathy, entire aspect of homeopathy lies within the spirituality, the knowledge of the invisible, and which has to be seen through the visible. So, seeing the invisible substance things with the visibility and using them for as a powerful medicine becomes the important concept for Hahnemann, which he tried to explore during his life. An entire base of the organon of medicines is based on your understanding, your faith, your patience, your feelings about the spiritual dimensions of the homeopathy. Friends, medicine is an intelligent effort to balance the life energy or bioenergy equation with the aid of any external medium. What we do, we have to influence our life disease persons, the balance, and that is done at the energy level because you have seen, you have understood that every medicines in homeopathy they become dynamic only after potentization. Well, we used to potentize the material substance, and there are many substances which are beyond the materials and available in our nature, and they can constitute to be the basic for homeopathic understanding. Friends, Albert Einstein, he had rightly mentioned the matter may be converted into energy, or energy and matter may be effectively equated. So they are equivalent. The medicinal substance are nothing but a particular energy bundle. The science of homeopathy is also not an exception to the same. The process of balancing the life energy of man by energy in any is analyzed on the science of symptomatology. We all constitutes, will all have the limitations of the symptomatology that is available, that is our visibility. And through this visibility, visible aspects, you have to go into the invisible aspects. Homeopathic drug sources are micro bundles of energy. What we do, we just try to convert, to take out the energy from either material substance or from the immaterial substance so that they can be utilized. And when these bundles of energy go inside the human system, they start acting on psychic and physical level of life or plane by affecting every part of the prana, that is the life energy, that is the vital principle. Friends, Dr. Hahnemann, in his ninth apple, had summarized everything about the spiritual things. He said that in healthy condition of man, The spiritual vital force, which is autocratic in nature, the dynamis that animates the material body, organism, rules with unbounded sway and details all the part of the organism in admirable, harmonious, vital operation as regard both sensation and function, so that our indwelling region gifted mind can freely employ this healthy living instruments for the highest purpose of existence. What he says? He says spirituality is the base. It is autocratic, self-powered. It needs no power, and it utilizes the mind to employ for for maintaining the life. And what is the purpose? The purpose is your highest purpose of your existence. You all have a. We are all constituted on the basic principles of our life. We are designed. Our life are designed for a specific type of the functions. And if we concentrate on those specificity, you can do the anything on your that you desire. And dynamic powerful physical energy have been known to influence various living and non-living forms and processing on the earth. These energy have been tapped into potential homeopathic medicines for cure of the sick. The energy utilized by the natural substance and, artificially generated. So what we do, we have gathered from the physical sources like the animal kingdom, mineral kingdom, plant kingdom, medicines, and we have converted them into the energy. And thereafter, we have some sources of the energy which is invisible but known to us, and we can utilize them for the better purpose as a dynamic medicine. Friends, the dynamic forces of mineral magnets, electricity, and galvanizing act no less powerfully upon our life. We all have experienced the effect of the magnets, effects of the electricity, and effects of the galvanizations, and and the principles, and they have the effectiveness similar to the homeopathic medicines. Because homeopathic medicines acts on the dynamic plane, and this dynamic plane, material substance, also acts on the dynamic plane. And they enter our life. How? By the mouth, by rubbing, and by skin, and by getting our touch, coming in touch with us. So there may be disease, right, in 286 of the sixth edition. There may be disease, especially disease of sensibility and irritability, abnormal sensations, and involuntary muscular movement, which may be cured by those means. But the more certain way of applying the last two, as well as the so-called electromagnetic machines, lies still very much dark to the homeopathic use. It is very little of the electromagnetic machines are being. So far, both electricity and galvanizations have been used only for palliations and for great damage to the positive pure action of both upon the healthy human body have until the present time been still tested. What we do, there are many therapies which is based on the magnet therapy and the electricity therapy giving, but they are used only for the palliative purpose. The curative purpose have been explored through the homeopathic medicine. Friends, in biophysics term, energy has been defined. What is energy? The capacity to do work. The work, the word force is derived from the Greek word This is preference.
नहीं उसी में चल रहा है क्या एंड लाइक तो आ रहा
No,
है
no.
एंड करने का इसी में चला
So these are the sources of the medicines. These are the sources of the medicines. Animal kingdom, mineral kingdom, herbs, sarcodes, nosodes, then Impondrabilia, that is the radiations type. And we're still trying to explore many more. Friends, imponderables means what? The things cannot be precisely determined by measured or evaluated. Imponderabilia means which is not weighable, that you cannot have they don't have the weight. Drug prepared from energy such as electricity, magnetism, X-ray, sun rays, lunar rays, etc. Alcohol is exposed to the X-ray and that they constitute the X-ray medicines. The imponderabilia source of the human life. Imponderabilia are the things that cannot be precisely determined or measured by the measured or evaluated. There is no process for that, and they don't have the mass. They are massless. Their weight is not there. Dynamically immaterial energetic sources, and they are most powerful and deep acting in nature. Why? Because they are already dynamitized. They are already dynamitized and similar to our life force. Sources being immaterial, their origin is at the dynamic level. And imponderabilia medicines can also be termed as direct physical energy medicines. They are direct. They don't need and they constitute the mother tincture. Medicines energy utilized directly available from the natural and the physical reactions. Dynamic, powerful physical energy have been known to influence various living and non-living processes of the earth. We are aware how we are using the dynamic energy. Have the electricity, we have got the magnet, we have the X-ray, and in so many phenomena of our life, we are using the invisible energy power. And Impondrabilia as medicines is made as per the law of homeopathy and administered according to and finally a remedy that medicines which becomes Similimum. Samuel Hahnemann, he himself has quoted in a volume 3 of the organ and that as indicated medicines is remedy. Only the indicated medicines and only the Similimum medicines can be termed as the remedy. The imponderabilia remedy have directly and dynamitized energy of respective imponderable drugs. The immaterial power of any energy or any type of the forces all can be understood in language of the physics. Understanding the language of the homeopathy, understanding the meaning of the homeopathy, you have the basic knowledge for the physics and have a perceptible weight. They cannot be estimated by quantitatively. At the same time, they any form or content. Serious energy, they can only be experienced as above are nothing but imponderable. So it is the language of the physics. And homeopathy is a science of subtle Homeopathic drugs prepared from any sources acquire the property of imponderabilia. Whether it is physical, material medicines from the plant kingdom, animal kingdom, or it is from the any other mineral, any other sources, they are converted into the imponderable. They constitute, become the dynamic. So homeopathic drugs prepared from natural or physical sources of energy comes under the category of imponderabilia. Thus, in an implied sense, the drugs are prepared on strictly pharmaceutical principle of the homeopathy. In terms of quantum physics, everything of the cosmos, even cosmos as a whole, is nothing but the systemic energy pattern. And energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. Energy is eternal and most potent expression of existence of any matter or material sources. What we are, our physical body is destroyable. It can go away. It can vanish. It gets perished. It gets lost. But what about the energy? It remains in the nature. It is forever. And energy things, whether visible or invisible, variable or unvariable, comes under the category of the imponderabilia. Energy is not a substance, but a measure of activity. You cannot term it is a misnomer to term them to be the substance. They are the activity of dynamic pattern. What we do, our action speaks. What we think, our thought speaks. Mind speaks, and that speech is the expression of the energy. Thus, through imponderabilia, a pattern of energy goes in human economy, which balances the already disturbed electromagnetic energy, that is the vital force or for a better functioning. Dr. Henneman was the first genius of his time who discovered the mysterious healing power of hidden in imponderability. The proving of magnetic energy in the form of magnetis polis ambe, the magnet, and each of pole separately is the eternal light of glory of this great man. Dr. Henneman himself has made a proving of the electris polus uh, poly amber, that is the magnet, and the south pole, north pole, they were studied and proved separately. Now, we are some of the presently available imponderables in homeopathy. We have the full magnet, that is magnetis polis ambo. South pole of the magnetis polus australis. North pole of the magnetis polus atris. Artificial magnetis artificialis. Moon rays luna. We have potentialized the moon ray. We have potentialized the sun ray as a soul, and atmospheric electricity as electricity, and artificial as electricity, that is the electricity, and radioactive elements, that is radium bromide, and X-ray as the radiations. So these are some of the available imponderabilia in homeopathic medicine. And there are the probability. Now, with the coming informations, new generations, and new understanding, you can include, and there are the possibility of having a gravitational energy of falling water, stored chemical energy of coal or fossil, thermo nuclear energy of radium activity, and sound waves energy. We have still to potentialize these medicines and include in our Metra Medica. Friends, original energy substance serves the purpose of the mother tincture. Usually we think about the mother tincture in homeopathy, but the energy itself, the mother tincture is in the form of the energy. And imponderabilia are prepared from the energy. So impression of the unfolding of these energy takes place in vehicles which become the original blueprint for further dynamization. It will be seen that these vehicles, that is the sugar of milk or distilled water or alcohol, are easily available, edible, and practically free from medicinal property. These vehicles are quite capable of carrying the dynamic power of energy to which they are exposed to such. So we have experienced the dynamic power stored in sugar of milk, alcohol, and the water. And these vehicles absorb the imprint pattern of energy and unfold them with full potential during the process of dynamization. So this is the process for preparation of our homeopathic medicine. Then let us go through the individual medicine, some of the individual medicines, how they are prepared. Atmospheric electricity. For this atmospheric electricity, the vehicle use sugar of milk. Sugar of milk is saturated with exposure of atmospheric electricity, and then it is dynamization. So sugar of milk is exposed with the artificial atmospheric electricity and it gets dynamized. Then artificial electric current. So the same way sugar of milk is exposed in the with the electricity and it gets dynamitized. So vehicle become dynamitized with the electric currents. The luna, that is the moon ray. During the full moon, the sugar of milk are placed in the darkness of the night when the moon are glowing and it is exposed with the rays of the moon and it gets potentized. And then we have the soul, the sun. So concentrated sun stirred with a glass rod till saturated. The dynamization is done as per the homeopathic pharmaceutical principles. Then we have the magnetis polus ambe. And in the similar way, the sugar of milk or distilled water, sugar of milk is exposed to the fully to the entire magnet and steering the vehicle is done completely so that it gets full saturated. And the liquid further potency are made. Then magnetis polus arcticus, the sugar of milk is north pole of the magnetus is allowed to influence the vehicle, and similarly the south pole is exposed to the water or sugar of milk and it is received. And magnetis polus, the entire magnet is put into the distilled water or the sugar of milk and it is received, the energy is received by that. And radium bromide, we have the it is radium bromide is a radioactive substance and it is slightest brownish in color and remain in crystal form, and with the passage of time this substance turn yellow or pink. This substance is soluble in water and alcohol. Its substances is titrated with the sugar of milk. Liquid form may be converted to the titration and then dynamization is done as per the practice. And X-ray. Röntgen rays is known as the X-ray, and this ray is highly energy electromagnetic radiation. These rays are produced by bombarding the metallic target with fast moving electron in a vacuum. The homeopathic remedy X-ray Impondrabilia medicine is prepared by exposing the file containing alcohol to X-ray for optimum time, half an hour. Dilutions are prepared in centesimal scale. Sometimes lactose is exposed to X-ray and then titration is done as per the pharmaceuticals rule. So electric energy, magnetic energy, cosmic rays, you have seen radioactive energy and artificial radiations, electromagnetic energy, they compromise the and mother teacher and they get absorbed and saturated in the vehicle of which is being used for the homeopathy, sugar of milk, alcohol or the water. When they are exposed in there for a certain period of time, they become potentized, absorb the energy and they get potentized. So there are, for the miasmatic understandings, it has been proved, it has been found that imponderable medicine manifests the peculiar symptoms. Each medicine, if you go through the Matra Medica of each medicine, you will find they have the particular mild, and that mild are deep acting mild, and they have the powerful property of removing the particular miasmatic diathesis. And these Impondrabilia are very efficacious, very effective. The most subtle dynamic homeopathic remedy are the fastest acting medicines. They are fastest than any other. The nosodes, sarcodes, animal kingdom, mineral kingdom, or the plant kingdom. And they are deep acting up to the remote, unapproachable deep sites and penetrate with the highest piercing power. So they have the deep acting medicines. You can say that all these imponderable medicines are very deep in their actions. Then it is to be understood that imponderable act beyond the nosodes. It is usually say nosodes are used being for clearance, but if the nosodes fails, you can select for the select from the imponderables. It acts as super clearing agents to remove the obstacles. They have the effectiveness to touch the core principle of the life. They can touch the core principle of your life. Directly effect is on the vital principle of the life. And syndrome of lack of reactions. We usually have observed that the lack of reactions are there present in some of the patients, and they are not able to be removed because of the um, uh, mathematic background obstacles, and we can remove them with these medicines. They are such a powerful remedy that they themselves shapes their line of action, path, and reactivity in any human economy without the aid of any supporting homeopathic remedy. Then advanced pathological conditions where human economy does not show any early sign of or action homeopathic remedy, the imponderabilia certainly starts the activity of vital force. In such condition, imponderable medicines gives the signal to vital force to come and fight for the betterment. So, what we see, the imponderable medicines has got its direct effect. It is not going through your physical body, mental, but it has got the direct effect on your life principles, that is the vital principle. Then there are many iatrogenic diseases created by them. Yeah. Heavily exposed radiations, imponderable medicines act as an antidote and to make the human economy safe from further deterioration. They are uh, excellent in intercurrent remedy in some cases. They are but useful and complementary to some remedy in some other cases. The action starts by them is completed very easily by another homeopathic. So it can initiate the changes. It can start the beginning. It can be served as a beginner medicine, which to pave a path, make a path for the other medicines to work. Then the case of immune deficiency, now it is and the allergy, it is well treated with the imponderabilia. And there are authentic record available in Medica, in medical history regarding the treatment of these disease. Dermatological allergy is a special area where our imponderable medicines work miraculously. Bringing out the toxicity from center to periphery is the rule for the cure of hearing. And rapid, gentle, and speedy permanent cure is expected when hearing law is observed during the homeopathic treatment. So, they are just coincidence that this law of the cure is purely followed by the imponderabilia medicine. The equation becomes fastest and accurate is the rightly selected imponderabilia medicines is on work. X-ray, the king of imponderabilia society, has got the special power regarding the same equation of hearing law of cure, and this is classical achievement when we use the. There are many imponderabilia. Some say that the X-ray is the king of the imponderabilia, but I don't agree with it. There are all are king, or all are queen. All imponderabilia are king or the queen. Then imponderabilia medicines have very definitive and long-lasting, deep-acting effects on the human body. A vast number of symptoms have been referred in Materia Medica, but the intention here is to demarcate the very specific of the medicines, which may be termed as time-tested and characteristic pattern of the symptoms. Every medicine have got its own characteristic symptoms, and we must have the and we must for the matching the similimum purpose, we must utilize this the characteristic symptomatology and follow the rules of the homeopathic for selection of the medicine. Now, some of the characteristic symptoms of the Impondrabilia medicines are nervous tremor, great restlessness, fear and anguish, hysteric symptoms, palliations, headache, swellings of the part, weariness of the limb, everything looking yellow, increased saliva, whips in the paroxysm, and dreads the approach of thunderstorms, chest and arms stiff and paralyzed. So these are the area where it is at the neurotic level where it is has gone beyond the physical level and it is coming directly from the vital principle have got the effectiveness and they constitute the characteristic symptoms for any of the homeopathic medicines and a special reference to the Impondrabilia medicines. Then some of the medicines, let us discuss about the Luna. It was the Golan of Weisner contributed to the Reverend Homeo Belge, January 1897, a notable tract article, The Influence of the Moon on the Human Organism. Here it is mentioned that the facts the sleepwalk is a lunar effect, walking during the sleep. That is the somnambulism. That worms disorder are most troublesome at the full moon, and that goiter changes more or less with the moon. We are aware that many of the symptoms which comes and goes with the moon, and all those symptoms which comes and goes with the moon have got great effectiveness with the lunar medicine. Luna that is the moon, and when the moon is at the peak, at that time there are the disturbance in the life, that's why these medicines become important indications during those situations. Then magnetis polus ambo, effect of the magnetis as a whole, and each port separately were tested by Henneman himself. And in his preface, he does not expect ordinary mechanical, materialistic, and atomistic heads to be able to regard diseases as the immaterial alteration of the vitality or pure dynamic derangement of our state of health and medicinal power as mineral, merely virtual. Most spiritual forces. Hahnemann asked how they can reconcile with their materialistic notion the fact that single imponderable spark from the leaden jar gives a soap to the strongest man, and yet no ascertainable ponderable substance is communicated to his body. Of these symptoms, the schema, he says, the occurred from various powerful magnets brought into contact with various sensitive individuals without distinctions of the pole. So this has got, they can influence and reconcile the spiritual force. Then we have the magnetis polus, north pole, is obtained by applying the region of the fourth to sixth thoracic vertebra. So it is very important that the effect on the fourth and sixth vertebra at the distance of 4 or 5 fingers, uh, 5 fingers breadth off from the body. So any conditions that is there at the vertebral region finds the effectiveness with the magnetis polus. Then magnetis, this is the south pole. It 2000 C, and that is invariably gave the first place when there is no symptoms, plainly indicating another remedy. Now, this south pole has been used to neutralize the effect when the things has matured and something which is beyond. So we have to, like nails has grown up into the flesh on the sides, very painful on being slightly touched. and shoes places on the toe of the nails or the big when walking as from the corns. So these effects are very much had found more effectiveness with the south pole of the magnet. Then radium bromide is added in the Mathematica since the proving uh, uh, um, different have been precise its use. Radium bromide of 1 lakh radioactive was employed. Pure radium, a white which oxidized in water, burns paper, turns black or exposure to the air and has the property of adhering to the air. He puts a tiny bit of radium bromide salt on Indian rubber capsule and fastened to his arm, leaving it there the 10 hours. When he took off his skin, it was rain. The place turned into wounds, which took 4 months to heal, leaving a white scar the size of ceiling paper. So you just understand how much effectiveness is there for the skin disorders, this radium bromide. Then soul. Now the exposure of the soul. There are many things: skin cancer, then parasitic disease, moles, birthmark, now the seminar is ended. We have come to the end of the session, and with this, we are now concluding the session. If you have any questions, you can contact us and keep with us at our channel, Dr. M.K. Sani channel on the YouTube, so that you can get many more learnings lectured by me and some of the importance. With this, we close this session. Thank you. Thank you very much.